Hi, my name's Inval and I'm Senior Creative Lead here at Manchester Art Gallery, and I'd like to welcome you to Gallery 17, which is the engine room of the Taking Stock programme. Taking Stock is exactly what it says. It's a moment to stop, take a breath and reflect on 200 years of collecting here in the city of Manchester. Since late 2023, this space, which is normally used as a temporary exhibition space, has been home to our open store, our collection of ceramics, works on paper, paintings, furniture and sculpture, which is normally stored in our off-site store, but that's currently undergoing some building work. Why is Taking Stock important now? Well, we've been collecting artwork for the City of Manchester for 200 years, but now we've found that many of those artworks have lost their original purpose. A collection is a living thing. We need to reflect on it, challenge it, think about it in lots of different ways. We need to ask questions such as who historically decided what would go into the collection, who wasn't allowed to have an opinion, whose voices have been heard and whose voices have been silenced. These are all important questions in understanding how we got to where we are today. There are over 6,000 artworks in this room. And in order to get through all of them, to take stock of everything, we have to prioritise. And so we're focusing on collections that have lost their purpose, that maybe no longer serve a need that they might have in the past, but they might serve a new need in a new way for new audiences. We just need to look for it. Importantly, we're not doing this work alone. Staff here at Manchester Art Gallery are working with students, interns, volunteers, and will even be asking questions of members of the public. We want this to be a rich and challenging experience, and we know as an institution we will learn as much about our collection as everyone else who comes into the space. We want you to be curious. We want people to ask questions. There's no wrong answer, just interesting ideas to explore.
I'm Haroon Mushtaq and I'm volunteer coordinator here at Manchester Art Gallery. And I am looking after volunteers who are involved in Old Manchester Project. It is a collection of items which was curated in 1909 by J.J. Phelps of the Lancashire and Cheshire Antiquarian Society for a new gallery that was proposed to be built in Manchester, in Piccadilly. It was never to be, but ultimately stayed within Manchester Art Gallery's collection. So the collection contains over 1,000 items, which include medals, coins, curio, newspaper clippings, photographs and prints. The importance of this collection is yet to be measured because ultimately it was important to someone. And we hope that through the process of recording and archiving these items and doing some research with the aid of the volunteers and the people of Manchester, also be able to understand how important these items will be for the people of Manchester today and for future generations to come. Ultimately, what we want to do is use this opportunity to photograph everything in really good resolution so that there's a permanent archive up to date of how everything looks, its condition, and how important these things are. We will ultimately decide where these items will live in the future. Its current legacy is its measure in time and what Manchester was like at one point. These items might not end up staying in the Manchester Art Gallery collection because it's quite important that items end up in the right place for them to have the worth and value that they have.
So the Furniture Review is a project which is looking at assessing the gallery's furniture collection, and it's looking at trying to understand better where the material came from, why we have it, and how we can use it going forward. So one of the things that we are doing is assessing its condition as well. We can improve the level of documentation, so we can improve the accessibility of the object. We're also working with current stakeholders such as friends of the hall. So the material was displayed at Wythenshawe Hall, Heaton Hall, Clayton Hall, and also Fletcher Moss in Didsbury, and also the Horseful Museum. So we're working with council colleagues, but also the Friends of those halls, with Manchester Metropolitan University and the students there on the Fine Art and History of Art courses. And we've recently been working on a successful project which involved a takeover of the gallery spaces. So it involved working closely with the students who came to view and do research on the material, and then take that research and embed it in their own practice, and then come along to the gallery and do a takeover for an afternoon event. And going forward, the legacy is maintaining those links. We're also working on a new store in our conservation centre and making sure that we're putting the furniture in the right configuration and the right environment so we can enable as much access as possible.
Hello, I'm Emma Carroll. I work at Manchester Art Gallery. I'm the Schools and Colleges Manager, and was part of the team that's exploring a collection that's called the Rutherton Loan Scheme. In 1925, so nearly 100 years ago, Bradford industrialist gave us his collection of artworks, and these are amazing artworks, but specifically to loan them out into the city and actually to the northwest at that time. And this has been used through the gallery all the way up until the 1980s, really, to put art in different settings across the city, and specifically a lot of schools and colleges. The power that art can have in the community is really represented through this. So it's great to be re-exploring this collection with the young people of Manchester, to see what still sparks curiosity and to see what use it has again in the future.
Patterns of Life is an exploratory project which looks at a collection of study material that was acquired by a previous curator during the 1990s of textiles that can really resonate and does resonate with people who live within the local area of Platt Hall. The collection itself has been activated in different ways at Platt throughout its history. The beauty of it is it can be handled with care, but people can get up close and have a really sensory interaction with the material, which is really important with textiles, with dress. So now we're sort of looking at, what does a study collection mean today? What can it be today? How does it resonate with people? Mostly the project will be to do a full inventory of the material. We'll take measurements of the items, we'll record them, we'll take photographs of them. This material has never been fully documented. We will be working with a community of volunteers who will together explore the personal reminiscences of people, how people connect with the pieces. So we don't really yet know what the legacy of the project is, because it's really about the exploration of that collection with people. And I think something that we've really developed at Platt is the object can become the catalyst for discussion, kind of create that safe space for that to happen. So through this process and through this sort of collective unpacking and understanding, we can begin to really understand, the importance or the potential of the resource.
You can come and visit the space by standing at our viewing platform. You can come on a tour, or you can access the space digitally. But we invite you to come along on this journey with us and explore the collection.